Hey everybody, it's Glenn back with another Clash Royale analysis video. We're going to take a look at another game from the NoTilt World Championship Stage 2. And this one may make a lot of people cringe because we've all experienced a Hog Rider user who just gets on a cycle and just sticks with it. And that's the case with Line and Happy, both players trying to get into Stage 3. Line's already up 1-0. We got some Knights, we got some Skeletons, and here comes Hog Rider. And it's Hog Rider Earthquake. Not 2.6, here comes Fireball, and Hog Rider gets through with all that pressure, gets 2 shots on the tower. And really, this game is over right here, which is crazy, if you think about it. I mean, have you ever felt like a game was over after the first interaction? I felt like once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, well, this game is really over. And so I was thinking about, in terms of watching this game, like we're all going to deal with Hog Cycle users at some point. Opponent's going to be out there using Hog Cycle, and they're just going to get on a clock, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're going to play Hog Rider, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, and play Hog Rider. I mean, if you look, these Skeletons are coming, and here comes Hog Rider again. And, like, you wouldn't even know. After all that interaction, it just so happened that Hog Rider was back on cycle. Watch. There's the Earthquake. That's 1. There's the Snowball, 2. And while you're watching this Hog Rider get hits on the tower right here, 3, here comes the log that takes care of that skeleton barrel. By the way, this is a 2.9 double barrel bait deck, which I thought, I mean, I've been really trying to learn this deck over the past few weeks. And one of the toughest lineups that I face is a Hog Cycle user. Not necessarily Hog EQ, but more of a 2.6 Hog Cycle. It's just crazy. So, again, that's log is number 3, and we're watching Hog get hits on the tower. Skeletons is 4. So Hog is immediately back on cycle, and Happy has to figure out, okay, like, how to deal with this. You know, it's crazy. And the tips that I would have, if you have to deal with it, I mean, we're talking about some pros here who are having to deal with Hog EQ. But if you're dealing with a Hog Cycle user who just is on a clock and is just constantly throwing out hogs, the one suggestion I would have is to just make sure you count the cards that they have. They're always going to have Elixir. You see 5 Elixir right here, and they have cards that can easily cycle back to Hog Rider. You know, 2 Elixir Log, 2 Elixir Snowball. Skeletons. Knights only 3. Earthquake is only 3. It's a fast cycle deck because you just want to keep counting to 4 so that you can get Hog Rider back on the board. And that's for the user. If you're facing a Hog Rider user who just wants a fast cycle, they're always going to be on a clock. So you can set up your lineup to face whenever that Hog Rider comes on the board. For Happy, I was wondering, okay, you got to have Inferno Tower ready for when Hog Rider is back on board at number 4. Now, he did bring out Inferno Tower earlier, but now it's the case of, okay, you just got to make sure that it's always available, or if Inferno Tower is not available because it's a 5 Elixir, and this is a little tougher to cycle through. I mean, it's still really great to cycle through, but it's tough compared to what Line has in terms of being able to cycle. You just have to have another card ready, another card or 2 cards ready. You got to have Log and Skeletons ready. You got to have Knight always ready on defense. And you just kind of have to weather the storm until you can strike with the barrels here. And so that ended up being the case here with this skeleton barrel because Line decided to play Musketeer. I thought this was very interesting because I expected Line to continue pressing with Hog. He was on cycle, he had it going, instead he says, no, I'm just going to play defense. I feel like I've done enough to win this game. I mean, really, the first interaction I thought was enough to win this game. He happened to just do two favorable interactions. I mean, again, look at just the opportunity he could go right now with Hog. Yes, Happy does have Inferno Tower in hand, but you just want to keep applying pressure after pressure after pressure. You have the defensive cards ready with Snowball, Log. You can even use the defensive Earthquake. I mean, that's Snowball right there. But I just felt like to really just hammer it home and make sure you leave no doubt, especially with the stakes this high, the winner is going into stage 3. You just keep cycling Hog. I mean, Happy was ready right there with Inferno Tower, but again, I would say if you're in this situation and you're trying to climb up on the ranks and you have Hog cycle, just keep pounding, like right here. He's just going at it with Hog, and he's already done Skeletons, Snowball, and now Log, and Hog's going to be back on cycle in just a moment, although at this point, with 522 health, there really isn't much left to do. Now, Line can just cycle Earthquake and Snowball and Log if he wants and kind of sacrifice some Princess Tower damage in order to get the win. He decides to go Log again, and really, at this point, that's all it was for game number 2 of this grand final. Winner gets to go to stage 3. I mean, it's really tough to face a Hog cycle, especially if they have the cards set up in the beginning and they're ready to go. It's really tough to beat, but again, I would suggest, for anybody who has to deal with this, is just make sure you have your primary card ready to play that defense. And then if you don't have that card because it's pretty heavy or it's just not available because you used it for something else, make sure you have a secondary card ready to play that defense. I mean, only 5 Hogs played in this game, and they were all really effective. I mean, it was just pounding that Princess Tower, and I thought there could have been well more Hogs to be played in this game. It turned out it really wasn't needed because those first 2 interactions were just really good enough to win. And I thought, I've been really focusing on double barrel bait, 2.9 double barrel bait, because this is really fantastic. It's a really fantastic lineup that's grown in popularity over the last few weeks. But man, this is a tough go. And yes, there is an advantage if we look at the stats advantage from Stats Royale. There has been an advantage in favor of a 2.9 double barrel bait over Hog EQ. But the way Line played it is just unrelenting. Never letting up and making sure that you just keep your opponent on its toes. So very quick one by Line. We're going to take a look at another game from this series coming up. I'm going to end the video right here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to hit the subscribe wherever you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.